Hey YouTube, Oliver here. Got some new Pokemon news that came out last night. About last night. Showing off the new trailer. We got new Pokemon, version exclusive Pokemon, fashion, all kinds of things. We'll get into it. So basically, for the first time it showed version exclusive Pokemon for Sun and Moon, which will be in one and won't be in the other. So we got two new Pokemon. Both of them are sort of like monkeys. One of them looks like Dr. Zaius from Planet of the Apes, so I quite like that. I need him in my party. But now I'm just like, I'm going to get both versions anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. But I know some people are really particular about it. But basically we have Passum? Pronouncing it a little wrong. I'm dyslexic, give me a break. I'm sorry. But basically, that is a Pokemon Sun exclusive. It's a fighting type with the ability Receiver, so which takes the partner's ability when a partner faints. So if your partner Pokemon has Levitate and he goes down, you'll get that ability. So then if Pokemon, double battle, someone else tries to get you with a ground move, you'll be like, oh, Levitate, I'm cool. So that's pretty cool, could be useful in different situations. It's always good to have new abilities, I'm excited for that. Then in Pokemon Moon, we have Orangu, sort of a play on orangutan, pronouncing that a little wrong too, but it's a normal psychic Pokemon with inner focus and telepathy, so either one. Also has a new move, Instruct, which allows the targeted Pokemon to use its last move instantaneously, so just straight away, which is pretty cool. I will leave a link to the trailer below so it shows all of this. It's about 3 or 4 minutes. It's pretty good. It's pretty well put together and sort of shows off all these new things. Also, Pokemon we knew about for a while because of leaks and stuff is Rockruff's other forms. In Pokemon Sun, it will have a midday form evolve into this kind of big wolf thing, which is really, really cool. It's sort of looks like Zoroark, but sort of white and sort of less sort of menacing and more sort of normal wolf, sort of like Absol and that put together, sort of color-wise, and it's standing up. It's really cool. And then in Pokemon Moon, it will have Midnight form, and that does look more like Zoroark. It's sort of red, and it sort of has red, beady, evil eyes, and it's like, ah. So that looks pretty cool. So you can start sort of, if you're that person who can only get one version or you just prefer to, these might be things that sort of lean you either way. At the moment, I'm lent towards Pokemon Sun as my first playthrough, just for sort of Pokemon, and I do, it's sort of weird, but I do really like fire types, so Sun straight away, I was sort of like, oh cool, Sun, fire, that makes sense. And the legendary, so I was already sold on that, but I will play through Moon after to get the other Pokemon and just have that experience. There's a couple of different things. The Ultra Beast exclusive, the big, I can't remember his name, the big red sort of bug guy. My friend calls him Brosquito, is in Pokemon Sun, and then Moon you get the lady one, the white lady, who looks like one of the characters you meet along the way, but that's pretty cool. So we got some other information as well. Character customization's back, sort of like X and Y, but it looks a lot better than that. You can get these sort of tokens and stuff from doing different things. I think it's prize token something. And you can customize your hair and dye it and get dresses and shorts and whatever way you're inclined to look, glasses, all sorts of things, but it looks a lot more in detail. And when they showed off the different trainers, it actually looked different. Like, it wasn't just, I have, the standard outfit and I sort of changed my hat. It's like now, like, all these characters look different, so you can really sort of make your own character, which is pretty cool. I never really got into that in X and Y. I didn't really care, because I don't know, I always sort of pitched myself in there anyway, so I should be like, I want to create my character, but I don't think like that. I'm sort of just like, I have my Pokemon and I really focus on that, not how I look or sort of me. I sort of just focus on the Pokemon side of it and sort of living through that, because, I really like the anime with Ash, so I sort of pretend to be him and be like, I'm Ash, and so I don't know. It is cool if you like that. I'll definitely play around with it. I do like when you would battle people now, you just won't look the same. People will look different. That I do like, because it sort of comes out to battle and you both look the same, and it's like, this is a bit weird. So that's exciting. Also, we saw more about Z moves, which are like this sort of, it's this device, sort of like a Mega Bracelet, but it's for Z moves, and then you put this item on a Pokemon, and then once in a battle you can use this ultimate move. We saw Pikachu's one, he gets like thrown up in the air and comes back, and it's really cool. My favorite one was the Eevee one though. All the different forms of Eevee appear together in front of Eevee, and then they all raise Eevee's stats by 2, which is good, which Eevee kind of needs, because having a look at Eevee's base stats, and its HP's pretty decent at level 50, but everything else is pretty low, so the +2 kind of makes it a sort of, or like a competent level, but you know, it's still a normal type, so it's kind of like, what can you do with Eevee? But it's cool. I really like the animation. I like cool things like that, and having them all together. So I do it once just to see that and do that. That's cool. But it opens up new possibilities. It could make sort of Pokemon that weren't competitive or sort of there for battling, sort of bring them up a bit more. So that's exciting to see if that happens with anyone else. I mean, same with Pikachu. Like, its stats aren't that great, but this, you know, adds something else. But it's exciting. Some side news with the trailer that we got, 3 things. Volcanion, who is in Mythical Pokemon, is coming to Australia and New Zealand in October, so that's exciting. He's the last mythical Pokemon of X and Y, and is also in the upcoming movie. So that will be the last X and Y. That will be the last sort of thing to do with that. Sort of should wrap everything up. The movie will, and then that Pokemon will. After that, it will all move on to Sun and Moon, and we'll move on to Pokemon there. So that's exciting. I think they're handling this a lot better, because with Hooper, that took forever. Like, we got it, well, we only got it at the start of this year, I think. A bit later, that took way too long. And we got it after the movie came here as well, so that was kind of it. So I'm glad they're handling that better, and I'll be able to put that bit of my Dex to rest and focus on Sun and Moon. We also got information about Pokebank, what's going to happen with that. It's not going to be updated until January, early next year, which is a bit disappointing if you're like me and have a live Dex or have Pokemon, you know, you want to transfer over to Sun and Moon, so that everything's kind of going to be in limbo, which I don't like, because I'm going to have Pokemon over here and stuff, and then I'll have my new ones, and I kind of want to, you know, I want to move it over and have the family together, because, you know, family sticks together. We'll miss each other. So that was exciting. At least, you know, they updated us on it. And also with that update, Pokemon from the Virtual Console games, Red, Blue, Yellow, and if you're in Japan, Green, will be able to be moved up to Sun and Moon. So you'll be able to put them in Pokebank, put them through Poke Transporter like you do with Black, White 2, and then put them into Sun and Moon. They won't be able to go into ORAS or X and Y. They have to go straight to Sun and Moon, and once they go to Sun and Moon, they can't go back to the Virtual Console. So any Pokemon you've got in there, you'll be able to move up. If you did the Mew glitch, you'll be able to get that. Or any Pokemon. So that's exciting. So a lot of news came out. Last little tidbit was that the head of the Pokemon company came out and said, we will be making games for the Nintendo NX. And they'll be coming out. The rumor a while ago was within the first 6 months of Nintendo's new console, codename NX, that there would be a new Pokemon game, a new Mario game, and there was one more, and I can't remember off the top of my head. There's rumors that Metroid might be in that boat as well. We'll see. That would be an amazing lineup. That's a video for another day. But it seems like everything's traveling pretty well with Pokemon. There's news about the anime that's coming. The game's only about 2 months away now, a bit less. Comes out in November, it's nearly October. So that'll be exciting. So they're really doing everything. We're getting new Pokemon soon. But yeah, so it should be good. New news is coming on the 3rd of October, so we're still going to get a steady little thing. What I would like to see moving forward is if what is happening with gyms and League is it doesn't look like it, especially from the anime. Ash is trying to be one of those leaders, the totem leaders, and he's going back to school, and it's very, very different. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I just want to know sort of officially. My theory is that because of the way the anime's gone, and because this game can only be so long, I'm like, will it be like Gen 2 with Kanto and Johto, where after Johto you can go back to Kanto, but with this you'd go back to Kalos, and maybe there's another thing. Because in this game, they're including Zygarde, and that was the main sort of thing of the XYZ anime, and you can get all the cores. So I was like, why would they put that in if there was nothing else? They might just be adding it into this game to have it, which is a big possibility, and Pokemon do like to do that. But I like to think that maybe there's something after that, and I think maybe the anime might lead into that, but it's a very big what if. But I'd like to think, I think there's 2 or 3 big things that are hiding from us. Like, I think with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, we didn't get the big legendary reveal and some other things literally to the week of release. To the point where I was like, I'm getting the game in a couple of days, I don't want to know this, but it was that trailer where it had all the Hooperings. I didn't call them Hooperings, but they are. And they had all the legendaries come out everywhere, and you could basically in that game you can get every legendary except Mewtwo, the legendary birds. There are version exclusive ones, but between the 2 games you can basically get all of them. The normal legendaries, not mythical Pokemon. But that was pretty exciting. So I'll be excited to see what those big sort of things are, because they're slowly giving us more, but we still don't know much about the region and the different places. I'd like to see a big overworld trailer just to be like, oh! But the last 2 trailers have been fantastic. Stay tuned on here for all new Pokemon news and other things that are coming up in the gaming world. Check out my Facebook page, Oliver Reviews, and I'll talk to you later.